Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm going to ask you to gather a little bit forward, gather a little bit forward. There's always a gap at the front of the room. Welcome, welcome. Oh. Thank you, Steve. You can be the leader to bring everyone down to the front. Maybe not that close. It's fine. Welcome to Tech-Xpo, our showcase of the best and the brightest founders and ventures that are part of the University of Bristol's SETsquared program. It's genuinely a privilege to be on this stage and sharing this stage and the room with such an incredible group of founders, entrepreneurs, and the community that support them to really try and make impact in the world. The companies that are showcasing tonight, the 16, fought off incredibly fierce competition from the 80 companies that we work with in the SETsquared Bristol program. And if you want a bit of a sense of scale of what some of those companies are doing, half of them raised investment last year, which came to a total of just under £100 million. And maybe more excitingly, they generated revenues of around £30 million and created 250 jobs. So out of that, I like the applause from the back. Out of that group, to have got through to the last 16 to be demoing in the room, and the 8 that are going to be pitching on stage tonight, you can be sure there is definitely some companies that you're going to be wanting to talk to. Now, I guess because of the growth of what we're achieving in our program, but much more importantly, the incredible growth that's happened in the tech and entrepreneurial scene in the region over the last few years. Last year, West of England companies raising over £1 billion in investment and revenue. We get asked a lot what's special about our program, what's special about the cluster here that's giving birth to that. Like media, policymakers, they quite like to define programs, clusters by a specialism. And I think in the past, we as a community would probably struggled to describe what exactly that is. And if anything, I think we're getting more confident now that our strength is from not trying to put our specialisms in a certain box. I think our culture, and it's represented in our founders and where we offer support, is having strength at the intersection of traditional sectors, of bringing different disciplines together for where the really exciting innovation happens, and particularly with founders that are really impact-led. So tonight, the 16 companies that are on show really represent and hopefully demonstrate that, what that makes that special here in Bristol and in the region. So we've got companies that are bringing, for sure, incredible technical capability and amazing technology, but they're also bringing their expertise and a focus to solve challenges in healthcare, in well-being, in safety, in sustainability, and a whole other range of areas that are going to be so important to make the world a better place. And it's incredibly exciting also to welcome and thank so many of the community here that have come together and give so much of your time, your resources, and your support to helping these companies to grow. I think once you've worked in Bristol and the cluster for a little while, you can almost start taking for granted the generosity and the amount of commitment people give. And then you end up, and you might meet in other clusters in Manchester or London, and you realize that it isn't normal, and that we've genuinely got something incredibly special here in terms of just how much people are willing to give and collaborate and work with one another to make this impact and to make this a success. So, speaking of support, that is my cue to give some very specific thank yous. The sponsors that support us tonight, it means we can put on an event like this to showcase the companies without actually taking away from our resources or funding from what we're doing at our core in terms of helping them to grow. So, VWV, who you can find down at the front here. Now, they've been supporting this event and giving their legal expertise to companies in the program from long, long before I've ever been involved. And delighted that they're here to support us again tonight. And Nathan will be saying a few words in just a few minutes' time. And delighted also that right at the back there, you'll see the banners from Siemens and 1PLM who are supporting this event for the first time. But if you engage across the wider tech ecosystem, you know, all the companies, the SETsquared partnership, especially in the advanced engineering space, you'll find a lot of companies who've been helped and given very affordable access and support to the software Siemens deliver for such a long time. And delighted Nick will be saying a few words towards the end of the session today. FD Works, down at the front, and you can give a wave. Again, they've given support for tonight, but for my time in SETsquared, they've been so generous in giving their time and support to so many companies, I'm sure many in this room, and also even giving support for a period for ourselves when we were trying to figure out how we were going to scale. So you've even given benefit to us in figuring how we operate. And finally, also at the back, with the really big curved screen that you might have seen and have to play with already, rocket makers, who I'm sure many of you have engaged with over the years. It's their 15th birthday this year, although that didn't help them when they forget to bring their banner tonight. But I think rocket makers are so exciting, not just because of their depth of capability in developing software for all kinds of applications, but for not standing still and doing some really exciting stuff. And if you, like me in the past, have been a little bit skeptical of the term metaverse and associate it with a certain tech founder and his slightly creepy 3D avatar, if you want a bit of a glimpse into what it could really mean and to get really excited by it, you should go and see their demo of the Beam system and application that they've got going at the back. It's well worth putting together and seeing. So I guess to sum up and get the show on the road, like me, you've probably seen the kind of jokes that have been going on social media that the UK feels like it's in the 1970s again just now. You know, from the real socio-economic challenges that the country faces through to Kate Bush being #1 again last week, which is awesome, but I think a bit exciting and jarring for her. I think if ever there was to be a lineup and the opportunity to see companies and people that would dispel that myth and really, I guess, fill up your tank of optimism again, I hope that it'll be the companies you're going to see tonight. So with that, we're going to get the show on the road, and I'm going to invite Nathan from VWV to come up and say a few words for us. Thank you.
It's a bit high. Where are you, Sturge?
We did that deliberately. No, we didn't.
They did this on purpose. We are. Oh, this is ridiculous. There we go. That's better. We're delighted to sponsor Tech-Xpo for the 12th consecutive year. I'm particularly pleased to be able to do this in person again. I've missed most of you, not all of you, but it's lovely to see you all here. And what a absolutely amazing building to be doing the showcase in this evening. This place has witnessed some incredible performances over the years, and with the very notable exception of this speech, there's going to be a great many more this evening. Now, last year I reflected on what a difficult 12 months it had been as a result of the other dreaded C word. Fast forward 12 months, and I think we should be incredibly proud of what has been achieved. SETsquared has been winning awards again. Yesterday, securing the easily entitled Innovation and Entrepreneurship Support Award at the European EEE Awards. So I think the team deserve a hearty round of applause. Also, as we've heard, SETsquared companies have raised an incredible amount of money in the last 12 months, and we've been delighted to have been able to support a good number of those deals, including the investment into Ferrix, which you'll hear a bit about later, and also investment into LatchAid. And I raise those two specifically because we've seen a really significant spike in the number of investments into women-led, women-founded businesses, which is an incredibly positive upwards trend. I think we all recognize there's a great deal more to do, but that is, I think, a very positive thing. Now, I've been at VWV for 24 years. I know I don't look that old, but I am. And I can honestly say we've never been as busy as we are now. And I know from speaking to the other advisors in the region that the same is true for them. And I think that's a great endorsement of the number and quality of early stage tech and life sciences companies that we have in our region. Now, there is, of course, quite a lot going on at the moment, and it would be beyond naive to not recognize the threat that that has or may have to our ecosystem. Equally, I don't think there's a great deal to be gained by worrying about things that we cannot control. So the fact remains that investment funds have raised a staggering amount of money in the last couple of years. And indeed, there are new funds popping up and actively raising funds right now to invest in seed and Series A investments. Also, the investment community is incentivized to deploy that capital. So investors are always going to be interested in meeting great businesses with great teams, particularly if that business and that team has a scalable solution that will meet a number of the world's most challenging issues, and there are plenty of them. So to the ventures present this evening, I'd say this: be confident in your idea, be confident in your team, and be confident in your ability to sell your vision to investors. Looking at our own business, our sector specialists continue to provide support to tech and life sciences startups and scale-ups nationally from our offices in Bristol, London, Watford and Birmingham. We've been providing the lawyer in residence service at SETsquared Bristol now for 13 years, for SETsquared Bath for another 8. We also provide the same service to Science Creates and a number of other tech and life sciences ecosystems across the country. The virtual sessions that we have never been better attended, which again I think is a hugely positive thing. These companies are doing things that need, and they need support in order to do that. We remain as committed as ever to supporting this fantastic ecosystem. Now, to those pitching this evening, the very best of luck to you all. To the rest of you, I've seen all these pitches once before and you're in for a treat. So all that remains for me to say is to wish you all a very enjoyable rest of evening. And it gives me great pleasure to now invite Dr. Jenny Bailey, CEO and founder of Ferrix, to come and tell you a little bit about her story. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Nathan. Last year, I seem to remember you made a little quip about my height as I came up to collect my award, but I think I can get my own back now by thanking you for arranging the microphone. Still maybe a fraction high, but we can cope with it. So thank you, everyone. I wanted to start by saying what an absolute pleasure and a privilege it is to be back speaking at an in-person event, particularly in such a wonderful venue. Last year, this event was held at the Engine Shed, and that felt like a pivotal moment in the pandemic, as we were finally allowed to be in a room with other people. But the audience was almost entirely virtual. It's fantastic to be back speaking in front of a room full of real-life people again, and as an audience member, I'm happy that I no longer have to make the same amount of noise as at least 10 people, and I can clap at an appropriate volume again. Last year, we were fortunate enough to win this pitching competition. That's a fact that I still can't quite believe, as the standard of entrance was really very high, and I've been so pleased to see so many of those companies go on to achieve great things over the last 12 months. So just a reminder of what we do. Gut inflammation is an excruciating condition, and it's a big problem. 6.8 million people worldwide suffer from inflammatory bowel disease, and the only treatments available to them come with significant negative side effects. Because of this, patients will often go out and buy unregulated probiotics, but no currently available probiotic works during active inflammation. We have a probiotic that does. Our ultimate goal is to take this product through clinical trials so that it can be used as a prescription medicine. But we also have an opportunity to market this as a food supplement in advance of this. So, what have we achieved in the last 12 months? So being a part of this competition has significantly raised our profile. It's got us some great PR. Thanks to the SETsquared team for starting us off on that journey. Following our win, I've done magazine interviews, invited conference presentations, talks, etc., etc. So we found fame. But I'm sure what you all want to know is whether we've also found fortune. And I'm pleased to say that we have. Earlier this year, we successfully closed our first investment round, with thank you to Nathan and Sonia and the rest of the team at VWV for advising on that. Now, this investment means that we're able to move forward with product development. And we're currently manufacturing the first batch of our probiotic food supplement product, which is now called Ferrocalm. We've been working with a designer to develop the branding of this product, and the final product will be in our hands in October. This is a huge moment for us. The idea for this product came from a chance conversation in a corridor way back in 2009. It was an unfunded side hustle for many years. And now, here we are, on the cusp of being able to hold and sell a finished product. And I must say, I think it looks pretty cool. As soon as the product is delivered, we'll be sending it out to signed-up participants of a trial. So this gets the product into the hands of people with gut complaints. And in return, they'll be giving us some feedback on the product and also some stool samples. I'm not sure who's getting the better end of the deal here. These individuals will be the first people to take the product. And their insight and their experience will be vital as we prepare to launch the product more widely. Alongside this, we're pushing forwards with development of our pharmaceutical product by working with regulatory advisors to develop our regulatory strategy and finalize the design of our first clinical trial in patients with inflammatory bowel disease, which we aim to start late next year. Of course, there will be another fundraising round in between that, but it never ends, does it? So, to close, firstly, I'd like to congratulate every single one of the companies who are pitching here this evening, and I am so excited to hear your elevator pitches. You're all passionate entrepreneurs with fantastic ideas. You wouldn't be here otherwise. It's wonderful to be in a room with so many motivated individuals, all wanting to make a difference in the world. And we are so lucky to have such a thriving community of entrepreneurs in Bristol. I'm delighted to be a part of it and share it with everyone in the room this evening. I can't wait to see how tonight's companies progress over the next 12 months. So without further ado, I'd like to hand back so we can get started on the real exciting part of the evening. Thank you.
I think there's a lot of reasons why I'm really excited about Jenny's story, other than being such an awesome founder doing something incredibly impactful. I first met Jenny when I was actually working up at the University of West of England in Future Space, when you were just thinking of getting started. And therefore, it's just a lovely case study of how the overall community and cluster of support across the city really knits well together. And then it's just amazing to see where you're going and where you're taking it over the last 12 months. So, on to the fun bit of the show, the main event. And it's at this point that I'm going to pass the baton, the microphone, over to our host of the pitching competition for this evening. He's someone who many of you, or probably all of you, will know. He's the glue that connects together the community of SETsquared and links the companies with what they need. Is that what you told me to say? No? No, I'm delighted to introduce our community manager and host of the contest together this evening, Paul Forster.
Thanks, everyone. I've never been described as glue before, so thank you. Appreciate it. So I am here to ask you to make the biggest decision of the day, and that is who wins our elevator pitch competition. Are you up for it? Okay, that was a mild to medium version of what I was looking for. Where's the enthusiasm? Are you guys up for it? Much better, thank you. Okay, so those of you that have been before know how this works. We've got 9 companies. They're going to do a 60-second pitch. We're not timing them, but we have made sure that they are on time, and they know to be on time. I can see them standing there, slowly sweating. Yep, good. Okay. And in the tradition of the great Bryony Phillips, we are going to be giving some little factoids of every company before they come on stage. And so our first founder has been known to perform ska versions of Christmas carols. So please welcome George Bell, co-founder of Chorus.
Good afternoon, absolutely true fact. How effective are your company's wellbeing programs? Overwhelmingly, the answer is, well, we just don't know. Poor mental health costs UK businesses £45 billion a year. That's 70 million lost workdays. In response, companies are spending billions on wellbeing programs without any real idea if this investment is having any impact. But ultimately, how can a wellbeing strategy be successful long-term if the outcomes are not recognized? And that's why we have built Chorus. Software tools enabling consistent wellbeing assessment, helping people managers understand which wellbeing programs are working or not, and crucially, the financial impact that this is having on the company. Now, we're already generating revenue, and interest from high-profile clients and wellbeing providers is demonstrating two distinct routes to market and considerable appetite. Come and speak to me and my co-founder Greg over here if you're interested in joining us in our SEIS round, or indeed if you'd like to be one of our early-stage companies for free on a trial. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it again for George and Chorus, guys. Okay, so our next founder is an avid traveler. They've apparently been to 64 different countries, but they told me that their favorite place that they've been to is not actually a country, it's a continent, and that's Antarctica. And then I felt very jealous. Please welcome to the stage founder and CEO of Grand Bequest, Catherine Gunderson.
This is really high. All right. We have 27 years left to reach our climate goals. And in that short time, we also need to provide housing for an additional 2 billion people. That's twice the size of China. Addressing our growing population while still meeting our net zero goals, it's the greatest issue of our time. So when we think about fixing our housing crisis, well, we just need to build more new homes, right? Wrong. There is a better, more sustainable option. The reuse of our empty buildings. But getting one of these buildings back into use today is an operational nightmare. So this is where the net zero difference will be made. My name is Dr. Catherine Gunderson, and I'm founder of Grand Bequest, a PropTech B Corp whose tech platform finally introduces the circular economy to the construction industry by connecting our communities, our businesses, and impact investment. Our award-winning team of 7 is now looking for pre-seed investors to join us on the reuse revolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we hear it again for Catherine, please? So if you ever have wondered how entrepreneurs actually do it, our next founder apparently gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning to learn new skills before he starts his day. Please welcome Brian Wender from HopeTech.
$300 million visually impaired people globally face severe restrictions in movement. This is because they only have access to white canes to help them to move around, and these are not usually very safe and not very reliable as well. They also use human guides who are not always available. The Sixth Sense is a wearable device that helps blind and visually impaired people move independently to access their workplaces or work or education or just move for leisure, things that you and I do often. It is the first device in the world that fully replaces canes for blind people, and it has a published patent. We are working with over 1,000 visually impaired people around the world, and with over 10 organizations who are global leaders in this space to develop this product. We just raised our seed funding, and we are looking to grow our team right here in Bristol. So if you'd like to join us to build the future of mobility for visually impaired people, please come talk to us. Sorry. So, yeah, so we're based over right there. Please talk to us. Thank you.
Can we hear again for Brian, please, everyone? Okay, so our next founder is currently learning to roller skate, and I was quite excited by that because it wasn't rollerblade. Please welcome to the stage from Include AI, Joyanne Boyce.
I have the opposite problem to everyone else. In the backlash of a racist marketing campaign, H&M lost $4 billion. All brands are wide open to the same risk. Bias is everywhere and it impacts the content we create. In our years of research, we found that marketing teams have 3 key problems. They don't know how to track representation of their marketing, they're worried about being tokenistic, and they don't know how to apply inclusive thinking. Include AI is a companion software that helps marketers identify bias as they create content by using machine learning to track representation across campaigns, recommended inclusive word alternatives, and upskilling the whole marketing team to understand how inclusive marketing can improve revenue and brand reputation. The inclusive marketing sector is worth $1.6 million. And we don't think a small marketing mistake should cost a brand billions. We're looking for introductions to CMOs and marketing teams that are interested in testing our beta. In the future, we see Include AI being every marketer's best friend and every customer feeling included. Thank you.
Can we hear it one more time for Joyanne, please? Okay, so our next founder is also a published author and have written a series of poetry books, one of them being a motivational poetry book. I definitely will get myself a copy of that. Please welcome to stage Nithya Prabhu from Learnable.
Thanks for the reminder. I keep forgetting I'm not out there. Good evening, all. 48% of graduates in the UK regret going to university. Half of American graduates regret their major. As a former international student myself, I can relate to them. I'm one of them. Today, at 40, having made peace with all my educational misgivings, I'm still haunted by the what-ifs. What if I had given a chance to my dreams? What if I had the information to pick a course and university in the UK to make my own decisions? Thanks to the helplessness, I, Nithya, took it as my mission to help students make right educational decisions through Learnable. Learnable is the answer to my what-ifs. Learnable is the answer to the what-ifs of 8 million students leaving their home country to study abroad each year. Learnable, the AI-driven EdTech platform, is the answer to the dreams of all young minds that contribute to $433 billion international education market. Interested in our mission? We are looking to raise £450,000. Please come talk to me. Together, we can build a platform to help students make right educational decisions. Thank you.
Okay, can you put your hands together again, please, for Nithya? Okay, so this is probably my most exciting fact, is that our next founder, while at Dundee University, actually worked on a project to create a real-life Doctor Who sonic screwdriver. That is not the product they're demoing tonight, so please welcome to stage Bruce Drinkwater from Metasonics.
Thank you. Imagine a hot summer's day, a cooling breeze blowing in through the open window. Perhaps you've had a hard day's pitching. Then suddenly outside, a disturbing noise. What do? Close the window or leave it open? According to the World Health Organization, 40% of people in Europe are faced with this dilemma, particularly in cities. At Metasonics, we solve this. Our acoustic metamaterial panels block 80% of the sound, but yet let airflow through. We've tested them in workplace environments, such as hospitals, and demonstrated them to key clients, such as architects. We have engaged with commercial partners and are now in revenue, and we're looking to launch a line of sound reduction products. Our first will target the ventilation and air conditioning market, which is worth £20 billion a year annually, and we have key clients in that market. We're looking to raise £350,000 to expand our commercial team. Come and visit our stand, Metasonics, and experience for yourselves the sounds of silence.
Can we give it up again for Bruce, please, guys? Okay, so our next founder was part of the European Robotics League, which in my mind sounds like Robot Wars, and actually won the league in 2017. I want to know more about this. However, you're not going to learn about that now, but you can probably go and speak to him later. Please welcome to the stage, SETsquared from Milbotics.
Hello, everybody. It's really great to be here and see so many familiar faces. My great-grandmother was a very kind and gentle and sociable person, but ravaged by dementia, she became irritable and aggressive. In fact, half of the 55 million people living with dementia worldwide experience the same behavioural symptoms, and they account for 12% of the £32 billion cost of dementia care in the UK. At Milbotics, we're creating smart socks that use discrete sensors and artificial intelligence to detect early signs of distress and alert the carer so that they can intervene and provide support to that person before their behaviour escalates and becomes unmanageable. Over 25 social care organisations are waiting to trial the smart socks, and collectively they provide care for tens of thousands of people. And our partners include the UK Dementia Research Institute and also Alzheimer's Society, which is the UK's leading dementia charity, and they're also funding us and funding the product development. My name is SETsquared, and I'm the founder of Milbotics. We're raising £500,000 to bring the smart socks to market and put them on the feet of some of society's most vulnerable people. Very grateful for any support here. Thank you very much for listening. Please come and speak to me at my stand. Thank you.
Can we give it up again for Zeke, please? Okay, so our next founder was actually a chorister at Wells Cathedral. Interesting one. I'm not sure he still looks like a choir boy. Please welcome to stage from Optech, Alex Hudson.
La, 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 la. 10% of wildfires in California start as a result of an incident in a power line corridor. Just one of these fires was responsible for $422 billion worth of damage. If you don't detect a fire within the first 10 minutes, there's a good chance that it will become uncontrollable. There are no products out there on the market that can do this reliably. At Optech, we can do it in 1 minute. It's affordable and scalable. Beyond power lines, we have demand for our technology from warehouses, lithium mines, recycling centers, and more. And with these higher margins in this market and a faster time to market, we're actually starting here. We have a patent pending on our core IP, and we're looking to raise $600,000 to get from Optech's demonstration system to its first product. With 10 times the detection speed for wildfires, 10 times the detection range for industrial applications, join us in bringing this world-beating flame sensor to market. If any of you are Billy Joel fans, we didn't start the fires, but with your help, we can do something about them. Thank you.
Okay, one more time for Alex, everyone. Okay, so this is unfortunately our last picture. I know you're really enjoying this, but it has to come to an end. So our next founder actually started their business because they were trying to buy a car for their aunt and they couldn't figure out a good way to do it, so they started a business to help with that. Please welcome to the stage Julian Mencher.
Wish I could sing as well, right? All right, I want to paint you a picture. Imagine not having to worry about insurance and maintenance for your next car, or even the stupid deposits they make you put down. Imagine subscribing to a road-ready electric vehicle for one price a month. Insurance, tax, even charging, all included. At Voltric, we are building a beautiful solution that makes it easy and more pleasurable to drive an EV. Now, since the start of the year, we've gone from 2 to 12, and now we're expecting 200 vehicles by the end of the year. So today, we're only looking for 3 key things. Partners to help us expand our fleet, investors to allow us to build more of our technology to make a more sustainable mobility solution, and individuals, this is our third one by the way, who are looking to join a cleaner mobility solution, basically get an electric car. At Voltric, we are on a journey to make mobility practical, sustainable, and efficient. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is the last time I'm going to make you clap. Oh. Clap. Give it up for Julian and Anne Voltric. Okay, if you could all get your phones out, it's time for voting, and I'll let Marty tell you more about that.
Thanks, Paul. And can we give Paul a big round of applause as well, please? Thank you. Now, I'm really not sure, for anyone who knows me well, why they've handed over to me to explain the technical part, but it should be pretty straightforward. If you get your phones out, you have a chance to vote for the best pitch. If you go to the address and the code on the screen, there's some phones not out at the front, I can see. If you can't get it working, don't have a phone for any reason, I think we have a couple of members of the team going round who will take a vote the old-fashioned way as well. So while this process is happening, and then much like the Eurovision Song Contest, they'll take a little time for the magic to happen, I'd really like to invite to the stage Nick from Siemens to say a few words about their support tonight and why they're really excited about being part of this community. Oh, yeah, busy voting, yeah. Who did you vote for? Don't say it, it's fine.
No interesting fact about me either, Marty.
Oh yeah, we should have done a research. Maybe you need to say one then.
Thank you for that. So I'm here representing Siemens and our partners, 1PLM. For startups who design and make things, the chances are that we're interested in talking with each other. Siemens and 1PLM and SETsquared have entered into a partnership whereby we provide no-cost software and support to organizations that want to turn their ideas into a real product. It's not as easy as it looks, actually, talking for a minute. I'm impressed by these. It really isn't. Sorry about this. So, as part of the partnership, we are providing, as I say, no-cost software. And that software can be mechanical software that helps people design products, electrical software, electronics. In fact, any startup that needs an application in this area, I think it's fair to say that we've got it covered. Globally, Siemens and our partners have helped thousands of organizations go from being a startup to an established company. And it's great to be part of the SETsquared organization in this event, where hopefully we can engage with more innovators and startups and help them go on that journey together. If what I've said is of interest to you, we're over in that back right-hand corner, and we'd love to talk to you about what we do and perhaps show you some of that technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you to the Siemens team, and also again to VWV, FD Works, and Rocket Makers for your support and letting us and helping us give this platform for such exciting companies. Now, I had a cue to look for it somewhere in the screen to see if the magic has happened on the voting system when I had the dreaded words in my paper. If not ready yet, you might have to fill, but I think you're all spared from that, thankfully. So, I will be delighted to inviting back on stage again for how many years in a row now for giving out the awards? So handing over to Nathan again to present the award for the winner. You taking this one this time?
Yeah. There we go. Should have done this before. What a fantastic set of pitches. Can I have one more round of applause for everyone who pitched this evening? Hello. But as they say, there can only be one winner, and this is going to be a popular one. I'm delighted to say that the winner of the 2022 Tech-Xpo Best Elevator Pitch competition is Joyanne.
Thank you. Oh my days. A few people in the room now have had this idea for like a while, and yeah. Oh wow. People believe it. Yay. I'm sorry. I just really, really am so grateful because this means a lot, and it's such a point of like, when you're a solo founder, you're not knowing if you're making progress, and I really, really appreciate. I have nothing else to say, Mari. I'm just going to keep saying thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations to Joyanne again. Now, unfortunately, it comes to me to bring the event to close for the day. We had a fabulous speaker lined up, Michelle Barber from the University of Bristol, who's going to say a few words about the broader perspective of the university, the commitment and the landscape. Unfortunately, she's had the dreaded COVID in her family, so wasn't able to join us this afternoon. She dropped us a few notes through, and I guess she was particularly excited to be here, not just as a senior representative of the university, particularly focused on enterprise, but for those of you who know Michelle, a successful founder of a biomedical spin-out herself, who's done some really incredible work and grew the company in the city region. So I've got a few things I'm going to use notes for once, just to make sure I capture her messages. I think the university is invested in this area and are really proud to support the work in this area for two reasons. One, there is the pathway for helping incredible technology and talent get out and make real impact in the world, but also for the commitment to supporting the growth in the business community and society around the city region and far beyond. And I think the businesses we've seen tonight are a real representation of that. But also, I guess, real excitement that I think all of us involved in it, for all the success, feel like we're just at the start of the journey in terms of the Bristol City region and the tech and innovation and entrepreneurial communities that we're growing. Now, just 2 reference points alone for the investment and support that's coming in the future In the creative technology space, which has so many of us really excited in the city, the university is leading a £40 million programme called My World that's just getting started to really drive R&D in creative technologies, but is bringing together the culture and the art sector with the tech scene, and has an amazing new facility opening just off the back of Temple Meads in the next 12 months. And on top of that, just getting up and running is the Bristol Digital Futures Institute, which is a collaborative program of 100 million, which is really focused on the intersection of digital and technology and socio and economic research. Leaning into that space that we think is something special to help it scale up. And then on top of that, in the last few weeks, there's just been an announcement of a new platform and program called Bristol Innovations, which is another commitment for the university to work in its partners in the city to give major pull and major industry level to helping innovation scale and grow in the city. Now, the university is just one player in the field, and actually, often we will be working with the business and entrepreneurial community, but I think that commitment is just another sign to the excitement that all of the talent and all the success tonight is just a beginning of the story. So, with that, as he frantically looks at his notes to check I haven't missed anything, I'm going to be bringing the formal proceedings to a close, let you get on and enjoy yourself, and hopefully go and seek out and have a chat with all of the incredible founders that you met tonight. So just thank you again to all the founders that have been presented tonight, and all the real prep and work that went into getting those punchy minutes just right. I think you all did an incredible job. A big thanks to our sponsors for all of you joining, but especially to the SETsquared team and community that have made this all look like clockwork. It doesn't happen, and particularly to Sophie, who you may have seen buzzing in and around here, getting everyone, including me, where they need to be. So a big round of applause for you. And a thank you from me, and enjoy the rest of your evening.